Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you for tuning in. This looks a little cockeyed. Maybe I'm crazy. Alright. This is the love reads for Sagittarius. First half is relationship. Second half is for singles. For the main read, for the tarot part, it's going to be the Morgan Greer Tarot by Paul Foster Case and Arthur Edward Waite. And for the support cards, the Romance Angel cards by Doreen Virtue. Just realized there's things on my screen that I see that you're not going to see. So, I only bring out the oracle cards as needed, and I've already shuffled for the relationship, so let's go ahead and get right into that. Is this right? Yeah. Put that there. I'm not sure if we're going to need more, but we'll put it like that. Okay. So, what is happening? You know what? I am getting like this. It seems like an ending, but it seems like it's not a bad ending. One moment. Alright, that's off. Alright. Now I am seeing an ending here. Okay, so what's starting here is things are moving fast. On your side, things seem to be moving fast. On the other side, the other person is going through memories. Now this is what holds back the situation. I feel like you're trying to move fast on making a decision, and they're trying, and I feel like whatever direction they're already going, they're going through memories that support how they feel. Like they're validating how they feel. So no matter what way, if they feel good about it or bad about where the situation is, whatever they're pulling memories as necessary to validate themselves, if that makes sense, to make them feel like they're right. Because I feel like that's kind of what, like, they're stuck in a certain spot and they're not willing to move from it, but they're using all these memories, like they're going through their own memories, just validating how they feel, be it good or bad. So I think that makes sense. And you're trying to like get things, you're trying to make a change, you're trying to make a decision, a quick decision, and this seems to be causing problems too. Excuse me. So I'm thinking for the most part, with the memories, they're playing up all the bad things, for the most part. I mean, it's general relationship read. For the most part, they're playing up all the bad memories, though. And they're feeling like it's time to move on. I feel like they're just like reliving everything that went wrong. And it's just very, very vivid to them. And it's almost like they're diminishing everything that went right. So, because I don't feel like this was a really bad relationship. It's just kind of, it's almost like what they need to do to get them to move forward. Now, I feel like you're trying to push them to make a decision, either stay or go. You don't like the whole in the middle thing, like either let's do it or let's not. Like, make a decision. You're pushing, and this, I feel like these two things together are not working well. This is what's getting it to end, the two of these together, because all they're seeing is the negativity. I really feel that's they're validating reasons why they should move on, and you're pushing them to make a quick decision, and that's what they're going to base it on. Now, that being said, I do feel like this, when we have the Page of Cups, this is an interesting card, just because a lot of times, I don't know, I'm not even, I think it's just the way I read this personal card. Like, I feel like the fish is jumping out of the cup, like it's losing, it's like letting something go, which is not the traditional meaning for this card. And sometimes the look on the lady's face, or I consider that a woman, but could be a male. It's a general read, doesn't matter either way, but still. I often think she's just kind of like letting something slip past her because she's really not sure she's all that interested anyway. I am definitely one of those readers that reads a card based on how it's coming across to me, and that's what I'm kind of feeling. Like, you're kind of letting it slip away. It's not like you don't have feelings, it's just kind of like it's not worth the fight to keep it going. It's just such a minimal thing at this point. The love is there, but it's almost like at peace with the ending in a sense. I don't feel like you're overjoyed about it, but it's kind of like you don't want to stay, then you might as well go if you really don't want to stay, because I don't want to, like, if you're not really into this, then why are we bothering? Because it can't be a one-sided relationship. There's no point in it. It's kind of what I'm seeing here. And they go on. And it seems like this is how it starts off. Like, they move on. So when you're watching this, I'm assuming you're in a relationship, but it's soon to be like they kind of start moving on. This could be just like you guys have a conversation based on how you communicate. So conversation, argument, however that works out for you. And it's basically made, you're both on the same page, it's over, and the other person's going to move on, or however that's going to work out. Or they actually do move out. They go. One of the two. I'm not seeing, I do want to say I'm not seeing anybody on the other side, but since it's a general read, it doesn't mean there's nobody else on the other side. It's just, I don't feel like that's the motivator in the situation. So if that is, in your situation, if there is somebody else, it's connected to your situation, whether that person's there or not, I feel like you have the same outcome. I think that's the point. Alright, so this is the first spot, which is interesting because I feel like this moves on, and I'm really, really kind of seriously feeling I don't feel like it's completely just devastating you, because soon after, you're ready to move on to something else, or you're just kind of like, you're okay with it. The 9 of Rods for me, that's going out with it's going out to battle with an assured success. You feel like you're completely fine. And the other side is a lot happier too. They're very happy about the choice they made. They feel like it was the right choice. So I feel like you're both in a good space at this point. The only thing that might be holding back the other side is something about finances, I believe that is. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. So, this type of relationship, I feel like for the majority of you, there's something monetary-wise that holds you together, or that you're both invested in, and they have to wait to see how you want to proceed. But I feel like this is a good thing. It's like, it's something on their, it feels like it's mostly on their side. Like either, like if you have a house together, either they're waiting for you to sell the house and then divvy up the assets, or you're going to pay them for their half, or they're going to pay you for your half, something like that. Like, they're just waiting to see how this is going to pan out. Like, I feel like that's, like, they're waiting to see what you want to do. And it doesn't have to be a house. It could be, like, something you have together. Like, this could even be, like, if you're living together in this situation and you're in the apartment, who stays, who goes. There's some type of joint asset, though. I really feel like there's some type of joint asset. And you're the one that gets to make the decision on how that's going to be handled. This seems to be helping. When they're at that part and they're letting you make the decision, I feel like that makes it a lot easier. And this is also what helps you, because I feel like this creates a good ending. When you're in that position of power to make the decision how this should end, it's like you get resolution, you get closure from it. Now, there's some interesting pieces here. This is where they're standing. I feel like they already know that the situation has come to its fruition. I feel like they're very dedicated to that thought. That's where they are. And they're committed to this moving on. They're using the past, the memories, to really support how they feel. It's really strong with them. They have decided they're done. That's what I'm getting. your side, on the other side, I feel like you're conflicted a little bit, which kind of goes along with the Page of Cups in my opinion, where it's not like you don't have any feelings, but you're not really sure about it because you're seeing like, to keep this going, it's going to be a lot of arguments, it's going to be a lot of work, and the Four of Cups, you're not even really sure if you want to. And when the other person makes their decision to move on, it's almost like, you know what, maybe that is for the best, because the work, the arguments, and I'm not even really sure if I want it. Like, I feel like that's what this is saying. You're not even really sure if you want it. You're not sure if you really want to go through that work and all the arguments just to pull this along a little longer. So you're kind of, I feel like that's why you're moving on so easily. It's weird because I feel like for the most part also, I don't feel like there's like a bitterness. I don't really feel that. Because on their side, in the spiritual sense, I feel like they still care about you. They just don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. But I do feel like they care still. And on your side, I almost get like a mirroring effect. Like, you feel like judgment went in your favor, that they decided to let it go. You're getting the... you're in the position to make the financial decision how to divvy up the end here that gives you closure, and you're preferring friends. I feel like the Three of Cups at the bottom here is saying you'd prefer this to be a friendship. So you just, I feel like you're kind of, like, this seems like you might both be on the same page. Like, it didn't work out as lovers, but friends are fine, for whatever reason. And the way that you're making this decision about the joint asset and creating the closure, like, I feel like you're honoring a friendship. Like, it was what it was when it was, but we just didn't match. In a lover's respect, we just didn't match. And that's okay, but we can be friends. And I feel like this is a really, like, this is a really civilized ending, it almost seems like. Because there's been so much before, like, I do feel like you're thinking there's going to be a lot of arguments if you keep going. And you're just like, this is really a civilized ending. I feel like you're both happy that you made this decision, and it's not far after that you're both feeling like this is a lot better for both of you. You both feel good about it. They feel like they made the right decision. You feel like this is a lot better for you. You're off to something that's going to be a better fit for you. You're both happy with what you're doing. But I do feel it's parting ways. Interestingly enough, I mean, for a relationship read that starts together and ends apart, this seems like it's fairly good. Comment below. You'll let me know. I know you will. Thank you very much. I'm very thankful for everybody who leaves comments. Thank you so much. I think that's all we have for this. Okay, so let me get into the singles for Sagittarius. Alright, singles, Sagittarius. Getting kind of like an assembly line. Cards just want to keep going over. I don't think we need those right yet. Okay, I'm seeing something over here. Okay, let's see. Let's start here. Sagittarius, single Sagittarians. Ace of Swords is where you're standing. So you want... I shouldn't say you want, you're communicating. I feel like you're active and looking. You're active in that pursuit. But, it seems to be common, your thoughts are that what you want isn't out there, or what you want you can't have. You're stuck. You're not, either what you want isn't available, they're in a relationship, or you're not finding somebody who's really sparking your interest. Alright, that being said, I feel like you have things weighing on you, past relationships that were very burdensome. I feel like this is another reason you're kind of feeling like what you want isn't out there, because there are some options, but you're thinking it might be more of a train wreck than anything else if you go that direction. And I feel like you've been making good decisions up to this point. I feel like there's people around you who do spark your interest, but you're thinking it's going to be a train wreck. And you've been staying away from them because of that. Now, as we keep going, I'm seeing you give possibilities a chance. You got 2 of rods here with the star here. So, like, you're considering, I feel like you're considering at least one person that you think you originally thought was a bad idea. And you're starting to think, you know what, maybe there's a chance here. Maybe I just need to give it a shot. You know, people change, blah, blah, blah. Who knows how they match up with me, blah, blah, blah. Anything, you're just kind of giving it a hopeful shot. I think I'm going to say at this point, your overall energy is the 5 of Pentacles. I feel like this is going to be like one of those licking your wounds situations, because I'm getting a couple things here that make me wonder. You got the King of Rods coming in. I feel like this is the other person. Now, no matter what your gender is, don't get caught up in the gender of this. This just means somebody comes to you very passionately and very strong, like they're actively coming towards you. That's the energy of this card. Now, I feel like this is very short-lived, because over in the corner I have this popping up. Because I feel like this is kind of like moving on from this. Or it actually comes in like this. Which makes me wonder if it's somebody who's attached still, who's coming at you very strong. Because we have the 6 of Swords here. And there's a card behind it, but I don't know yet. It's the Fool. So I feel like you're shelving your burdens, you're shelving what you're thinking. All these reservations you had about this person, you're shelving for the moment, and you're just trying to be optimistic. Because I notice this is up in the top part of the card here. It makes me think it's a mental aspect. It makes me think it's more in the thought section. And reservations you had about this person, I feel like you're putting to the side for now. And you're being kind of naive. I'm going to use the word naive because of what I'm seeing around here. Because if this person, okay, yeah. Because I see something else over here you haven't seen yet. That's why. Just to be fair. I do feel like you're being naive. Because I think your original assessment of this person was correct. Because I feel like this person comes towards you, but currently they're in the realm of possibility. They're kind of in your thoughts. And I kind of get that's what this card is saying mostly. Because it's in the environment. I feel like this person is in your thoughts. They're affecting your thoughts. So they're around you. You see them. They kind of weigh on your mind. They weigh on your thoughts. Then they come in. Again, don't get caught up in the gender. I'm noticing it's still a male card, but still. The Emperor. This person comes in with a dominant energy, and it's very active, and they're pursuing you, I feel. They're coming towards you. You might notice there's a card behind this. And for those of you who know this deck well, probably know what the card is. It is the Devil card. Which is why I'm thinking your first assessment may have been right. I feel like your first assessment about this person may have been... If this reading is resonating for you, I feel like your first assessment to stay out of the situation was the better choice, because there's problems that come along with this person. This person, there's a problem. It's a general read, and this goes in a lot of different directions. Being bound to somebody, having ill motives, being very sexually motivated. Sometimes this card can denote a very heavy sexual energy that's only about personal gratification. In other words, they just want to hook up with you. They just want to get off. as crude as that sounds. That might be their primary or only motivation. This is something to be aware of. Because I don't feel like that's how you feel about it. I don't think that's the way you're going. You're feeling more for this person. I'm not thinking that's the case on this side for most of you. For some of you, this person is bound to someone else very heavily. And it's not going to be easy to move on, and they probably might not. They more than likely won't. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so because as we finish out this, if you choose to go that direction and give that person a shot, you end up with the Hanged Man, which means you're just kind of stuck with feelings that you're not really sure what to do with. You're just kind of hanging out, observing and experiencing what they bring towards you, but you don't seem to want to get out of it, but you don't seem to want to stay in it at the same time. You're kind of perplexed. And things just keep happening on their own, and you're just kind of in this limbo state, and it could last for a while. A while is subjective. I've known people who've ended up in these positions or situations for years, and it's just, you're selling yourself short is what it is. It's one of those things where people feel like this is the best I can get, so I'll accept it, when you actually can get a lot more. But being in this situation is kind of tying your emotions to someone, so you're not allowing yourself to observe or give other things a shot. You're not allowing other things in. Either way, if you decide to give this person a chance, I feel like you're going to end up there. Once you give that person a chance, I feel like you're there, and you're just not sure to stay or go. You don't know what you want to do. You're just kind of stuck. And then it could go for a while. If hopefully this reading hits you at a good spot where you're seeing this coming, and this person hasn't come at you yet, or they have, and you're in that spot where you can say yes or no. If this reading is really hitting for you, and you're knowing that they have a lot of hang-ups, for some of you, this person is single, but they're purely sexually motivated. They just want to have a good time, and that's all you're going to be to them. If you feel that that's the intent, you might want to back it off or keep that off the table for maybe a month, because if they're really interested in you, I know it sounds whatever, but if they're really interested in you, they'll still be there after a month. If they're not, probably within 2-3 days, maybe a week, you won't hear from them again. I'm just saying. And I'm no better. I'm just saying that too. No better. I've made bad decisions, I'm not saying I haven't. Okay, we good here? Okay, so that's the singles for Sagittarius. Of course, if you'd like direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you for watching.